Let's talk money.
Welcome back. You're with us on Let's Talk Money, and we are decoding the budget fine print and figuring out if this indeed is the budget that makes most of us move from the old income tax regime to the new income tax regime. And before the break, you heard Sonu give us a bit of a thumb rule that if your total deductions are going above 8 lakh rupees in a year, then perhaps, only then perhaps, you might be better off in the old regime. But even then, you have to do your own math and your own sort of calculations. Just a point here, when we talk about deductions, for us, for most of us, we'll exceed 8 lakhs if we're paying a high amount of rent and claiming HRA. So just some examples and some numbers over here. Now here, look at the assumption that we have taken, that the person is earning 35 lakhs and the rent, he or she is paying 50,000 per month, which is what a lot of us end up paying in cities like, Mumbai or Delhi or Bengaluru, etc. Now, even here, you can say these are all, and then the other deductions are there, ATC, etc. Even for a person like this, the person is better off in the new tax regime. You can see the total tax payable is about 6.3 lakhs in the new regime versus 6.7 lakhs in the old regime, even if you're paying 50,000 rupees of rent. Now, finally, looking at someone who's earning even more and living in an even fancier house, the example here talks about someone who's earning 65 lakhs and the rent paid is 1 lakh. Only in this sort of an example, when you do the math, the numbers total up to the fact that maybe you're better off in the old regime. So that's the point that Sonu was making earlier. Feroze, your thoughts on this whole old versus new debate. Help us out. Generally, I mean, you said directionally you're better off in the new, but is this the rough break-even level that you concur with?
Like you rightly said, because the ones which are the common ones is 4.5 lakh summation, even if you use the NPS 50,000 limit, unless you're doing those exceptional ones like
donating to political parties, donating to charity,
parents,
and all of that.
4.5 lakhs, and then leaves you with another 3.5 lakhs. Like Sonu said, 8 lakhs is the break-even. So if you look at a metro city, because HRA is also a complex one, right? It is 50% of your basic. There are 3 rules, and the worse off is how it is calculated. So 82 to 83,000. So I think whatever example you gave, 1 lakh, I completely endorse that. And I personally think you should never swim against the tide. Now, कितना बचा लोगे? 20,000 2 साल के लिए. Come swim with the tide. It's always a good thing to do. That's my opinion. Now, you can do second decimal mathematics to save 12,000 rupees. You can work a little harder and get that 50,000 rupee extra bonus as a professional.
Okay, one more thing that I want both of you to clarify on. When we're filing our income tax return, so that could include all kinds of income, right? There's income from salary, there could be income from interest, there's income from capital gains, different, varied heads of income. So when we are saying that rebate is, as much as 60,000, if total income, taxable income is less than 12 lakh rupees, then that is what? That's only salaried income?
So total taxable income, which comprises of income which is taxed at slab rates. So you could have maybe, like the debt mutual funds, etc., which are now taxed at slab rates included in this income. But supposing you had, say, taxable income of 12 lakhs, out of which 8 lakhs is your salary income, interest income, all of them which are taxed at regular slab rates, but you have 4 lakhs of long-term capital gains. You will not get the rebate for the total 12 lakhs. You'll get the rebate for 8 lakhs, but for the 4 lakhs, you'll have to calculate tax as per the slab rates and then pay tax on it. So you'll have to be careful. This is very specifically, the government has inserted a proviso in the law this time, which is proposed, wherein they're saying this is only eligible, rebate that's eligible for income which is taxed at the slab rates, not income which is already taxed at some discounted rate of 12.5% or 20% as is the case in some short-term capital gains.
Okay, that's an important point as well.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah. Feroze, you want to add to it?
So what Sonu explained, for its application, where's the good news? The good news is for debt funds.
Okay.
Right? If a guy has 1 crore rupees in a debt fund, he's going to earn 7 crores, 7 lakhs, right? If you're earning 7 lakhs, it's anyways taxed at marginal tax rate, so there will be 0 capital gain because there is a rebate. So this is very good for senior citizens who were very upset that you're now pushing me back to deposits because both are now marginal tax rate. So it's a great news for all products who are at marginal tax rate anyway.
Whatever is taxed at slab rate is clubbed in this limit of 12 lakhs.
Absolutely.
That is the important takeaway. Okay, I think we're down to the last 30 seconds. So very quickly want final advice from our guests. Feroze, in terms of our mutual fund investments, though of course nothing has changed in terms of capital gains, But the market started believing that now with this big income tax cut, consumption will do well, consumer stocks will do well. You should not have manufacturing and capex too much in your portfolio. I know market can also, go to excesses. But from a mutual fund portfolio perspective, would you change anything, add or subtract anything?
So I personally think these are narratives built. Somebody actually told me the same narrative in one of those panels on the budget day. I asked him, what are the top 3 expenditures of the government apart from interest? It is transport, defense, and railways, right? So all of it has some degree of capital gain, right? So it can be consumer spending, which can be propelled. Of course, I have for the last 6 months been saying ABC is the theme. Automobile, banking and consumption are the themes which fund managers should also skew. But you need not buy a specific thematic scheme to get the benefit of this ABC. And this ABC got reinforced in this budget, thankfully.
Okay, got it. So no reason to rush and quickly start sort of re-rigging your portfolio. Sonu, final advice, tip, anything else you'd like to leave with? We didn't get a chance to discuss, but there's relief also on the interest income on deposits, right? There's some good news that's coming if you want to remit money overseas for funding higher education. So quick summary of the other highlights that stood out for you.
So very quickly now, the TDS, which is applicable on interest income typically kicks in if your interest income is over 40,000 rupees and for senior citizens at 50,000. What has happened in this budget is that the TDS threshold for senior citizens has gone up from 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. That means that, sometimes what the challenge which senior citizens face is that they have to file tax return to get back the refund of TDS, which is deducted because their income is not within the taxable ambit. Now, so that administrative hassle is saved. So the TDS relief there is no change in the taxability of the interest income, but the threshold at which the TDS kicks in has gone up to 50,000 for everyone. And for senior citizens, that is people over 60 years of age, it is at 1 lakh rupees. So that's the benefit. TCS, which is applicable on remittances under liberalized remittance scheme, that in case of education loans taken by students to finance their education overseas, that's been completely taken away. There's no TCS on remittances relating to education if it is been financed from a loan taken from a specified financial institution. The big change for all remittances, the TCS will come in at a threshold of 10 lakhs instead of the existing 7 lakhs. So that's also going to be a measure of relief for people when you look at it from the budget perspective.
Okay, all right. Quite a whirlwind session, this one, but I think very helpful because we've finally got all the fine print out and we've understood why moving to the new tax regime almost is a certain for most of us after Budget 2025. Thank you so much, Sonu, as well as Feroze, for joining in and helping us demystify some of these finer aspects. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Let's Talk Money. See you again, same time, same place next week.
Let's Talk Money